Notre Dame are going to square off at 2:30 on Tuesday. First game of the ACC tournament, the game of the day in the ACC tournament. Not, maybe not the highest bar to clear in the world, but there's some potential for this to be a pretty entertaining game between these two sides. Certainly two really good guards, Jalen Lowe for Pitt, Marcus Burton for Notre Dame. Burton's coming off of that 43-point performance and the win over Cal. Should be at least an entertaining game. What do you think is going to decide this one way or the other, whether it's an area or a player?
I mean, I think it is Burton. You hit the nail on the head. To me, I both these teams I would say lack the top end talent to where you could point it to more of a collective effort. I really think it kind of comes down to like Cam Burton will his team to victory over Jalen Lowe. Jalen Lowe's been a little bit more up and down. He's Lowe is
Yeah.
11 for his last 46 threes. And I think he's still sub 40% from the field on the year to where it's like his lack of efficiency has really come to the light. Meanwhile, Burton has been absolutely cooking in the last 5 games. He's averaging over 29 points per game, shooting 43% from three in these final five contests that Notre Dame had to close out the year. He's doing this without Braden Shrewsbury, who's done for the year. And I know Matt Aloco has been working through a wrist injury as well. He's like just literally been putting on the Superman cape and finding ways to get Notre Dame some crucial victories. And I just don't think Pitt's going to have an answer for him. I know that Lowe can be pesky sometimes defensively, but
Mhm.
it's just a different beast. And I don't know, like neither of these teams are very deep. Like Pitt truly feels like a five-man team. Notre Dame's not a whole lot better, but I don't think collectively Pitt has the either the horses or like I would say the connectedness defensively to throw Burton out of rhythm enough to come out victorious.
Yeah, not the way that Burton's been playing. He has scored at least 20 in each of his last 5 games, as you mentioned. They played on February 22nd. Pitt led for majority of the game, and then Notre Dame ended up winning, going on a run the last 8 or so minutes of that game, led by double digits late in that game as well. And that was with a game from Mitch Leggett, a good game from Cam Corrin for Pitt. Lowe was
Mhm.
the one who was okay. They just didn't get contributions from the other guys. Burton went for 20. Tay
Mhm.
Davis went for 21 for Notre Dame. And to me, this one has to follow the same kind of formula. If Notre Dame gets production outside of Burton, they're a really good team
I,
by the
I'm
standards of a team that plays on Tuesday in the ACC
Yes,
tournament.
yes, that's a good way to couch that. Tay
Yeah.
Davis to me, I think I mean, he's scored in double figures in all but one game this since February 1st.
Yeah.
And in the game that he didn't, he scored 9 points. It was almost there. I think I think he's really shined, especially since Shrewsbury went down as in terms of like stepping up as just someone else who can go get you a bucket. Like he gives him that
Yeah.
physicality around the basket as well. He's pretty good on the glass and that is, I think, where Pitt has struggled to clean the glass really on both sides of the floor. And Notre Dame is like a surprisingly good rebounding team. You wouldn't necessarily think of that just because their post rotation is nondescript, to kind of put it nicely. When you look at Kepa J or Nikita, Big Nikita, Big Nick, as I like to call him, and Garrett Sundra, that doesn't really strike you as a who's who of glass cleaners. But I think collectively they kind of get it done. And I think I trust them more to end possessions on the defensive end, and even just with like Tay Davis's motor and the way that he's been playing recently, like both he and Keba J, they can extend possessions on the other end.
Yeah. A couple trends I'm watching in this one. Micah Shrewsbury teams, and this is mostly Penn State backed, but have been very good in tournament settings. He is a really good kind of one game off coach. It's a different skill than coaching
Mhm.
during the regular season. He's been very good with that. Pitt has also had all of their conference losses come in 4 game streaks. They have 3 different 4 game losing streaks in conference play. The last game was a win against Boston College. That ended a 4 game losing streak to close the season. So maybe Pitt's turn things around now that they're not on a streak. We will see 2 trends there. Ken Palm thinks Pitt's going to continue that, has them winning 75-70 in this game over Notre Dame. Is it too many points taking Notre Dame? I think Pitt covers. How do you see this playing out?
I think Notre Dame wins in a close one. I like this Pitt team has just felt like it's been going the wrong direction really since it's like as
Since
soon as since late December. It annihilated Lemoyne. Congrats. And then immediately showed itself as a quad three, quad four merchant. They just like I get Brandon Cummings has had some moments, but Damian Dunn being hurt has
yeah,
not has been kind of a death knell for them and their depth. I really can't stress enough. This is a five-man team with an occasional sprinkling of Brandon Cummings. And with Jalen Lowe, just I mean, he's embroiled in portal rumors. It's like everything is, I would say, coalescing for this to just be a nightmarish end of the year for Pitt. And when you
Yeah.
compare how Marcus Burton is playing right now and getting some contributions from Davis, I don't know, man. I think Shrews has his mojo back a little bit after that presser. Um,
Yeah.
After the four overtime win, they showed him in the locker room. He was like toweling himself down and like huffing and puffing like he had been playing in the game. And he referred to Marcus Burton as fat, which that had me in on him even more, that his nickname is Fat. A lot of fats in the ACC between Fat Burton and Fat Edwards. But yeah, I just like the way this Notre Dame team is playing right now.
Good of you to avoid an Eddie Lampkin joke. Proud of you. I think Cooper Flag's dunk ended Pitt's season.
When was
Since
that?
that since that point, Pitt is 5-12.
Oof.
Starting with that Duke game.
That was the early. Yeah, honestly, yeah. I'm not. Cooper Flag has a lot of good dunks this year.
Yeah.
I can't keep his hands
I
on.
Pitt to me
You're
strikes
right.
me as a team that's ready for the season to end. You got some guys you mentioned who are rumored to be ready to jump in the portal. Let's put it that way. I think Pitt's got some guys who are ready to be done. I think Notre Dame wins because of that. Maybe some value here. If you can get a Notre Dame as a dog, some money line options. Um, Winner gets UNC. That could be interesting. Let's see what happens there. We'll be back with a little recap after the game. So make sure you like and subscribe.